Hey y'all, welcome to Life on Goldman Road. This morning we are going to do cinnamon rolls. Now I have some dough already made up. This is my bread dough that y'all have seen me do. Dorothy is becoming a little sluggish, and I think it's because I'm only feeding her a couple of times a week. And I have actually kind of fell down even on that, just with life and everything. So I have my dough ball here, and I have some parchment paper down on the end of my table because that is the easiest place for me to work. But I'm going to roll out this dough to where we can get it to the size that we're going to need, and then we're going to do some cinnamon rolls. Now, like I said, Dorothy has been a little sluggish in the fact that she's not rising exactly the way she should. What she's doing is I can make my dough in the morning, and usually by that afternoon, it's ready to put in the bread pans. Not so much now. I did this dough yesterday morning with the intent of putting my dough in my bread pans last night. No. So here we are the next morning getting our dough ready to go. So she is taking an extra long time to rise. Now, I'm just kind of working the dough, trying to get a rectangle, which is, sometimes difficult. I've got some pans that we are going to use to do the cinnamon rolls. They are not perfect, but I have done these one other time and they turned out fantastic. And the friends that I shared them with really, really enjoyed them. So let me work with this dough and see what we're going to come up with. See if I can get it to do what I need it to do. And we will get started on these cinnamon rolls. All right. Now I'm working with 1/2 of the dough. This usually makes 1 loaf of bread. And I've got my cinnamon and sugar out as well, and I have 1/2 stick of melted butter. This is just kind of what I played around with the other day, so we're just kind of going for it. I have a full pan here. Probably need to spray that. All right, I don't want to make it too thick, but I don't want it too, I don't want to make it too thin, but I don't want it too thick either. But I think we're okay here. Don't ask how thick it is, because maybe 1/4 of an inch. I'm not really good at the measurement type. Let me spray this right quick. I feel like I'm in a rush because I sent Clarence on to the chicken house, and I know there's so many things that we need to be doing today. So I feel kind of in a rush. Let me see if I can get y'all a little closer or a little bit different angle. All right, maybe y'all can see now. Yeah, okay, let's see what we got. Now, like I said, just melted butter here, and what I'm gonna do is just brush it on. The last time I poured this on, and I'm sure we're gonna use this, but I poured it on and it kind of made my dough want to melt a little bit. Now I'm going to go right up to the edges with this. Last time I added pecans. Today we're just going to do the straight plain old cinnamon rolls with this one. And then we'll see how we go with the follow-ups. I have another dough ball here in my bowl that would have been for my second loaf of bread. And like I said, this is just my bread recipe. I didn't change anything because it is a sweet bread and it makes a really lovely cinnamon roll. It is a potato flake sourdough, if you have not seen me work with it. And on the last video where we made bread together, I posted the recipe. So you can always go back and look for that recipe. Well, I posted a recipe that is similar. This is a sourdough that I have to feed. I also have a quick sourdough that that you don't have to feed, and you can make it all in one day. So we are just gonna spread our sugar on. Okay. And our cinnamon. Now, more than likely, this will be ready to go in the oven this afternoon. This is how it was the last time I did this. I don't know. I got to get better on my feeding schedule, I guess. Okay. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to try to keep it tight, but I'm going to start here. And we're just going to roll it up and try to keep it all together. Now the trick is, I have found to cut it with dental floss. And that seems to work very well, as long as your dough is not too sticky. And last time mine was sticky, but it worked out anyway. All right, let me grab just a touch more flour, because I'm going to move my roll back to kind of in the middle. All right. Now we have our end, and that never stays, even when I pinch and all that good stuff. So I just like to make sure it is on the bottom. All right. Let me get some room, and let me grab my dental floss. We have a nice little log of cinnamon rolls, and the ends are always, you know, they're never perfect, which I'm doing good to have anything turn out perfect, but we use it just the same around here. So what you do is take it, slide underneath, and then crisscross it, and it cuts your cinnamon roll. And I'm just gonna put them in the pan, and they're gonna rise. But I'm gonna put probably, there may be 9 in this one. Depends on what we get here. And of course, I'm not a good measurer, so one may be a little bigger than the others, or a little taller than the others, and it'll all work out when you put that fork on it. All right. Love seeing that little swirl. All right, I need 3 more out of this, so I think we're gonna get it. Look at there, we made it work. Now, what I'm gonna do, bring this a little closer so you can see. This middle row, I'm gonna scooch out just a little bit, and then I'm gonna put some space here, and we have our first pan of 9 cinnamon rolls. Just that easy. Now I'm going to stick these in the oven with the light on so they can rise. All right, let's see what we can do with this second ball of dough. I have to kind of get it squared so I can get it started. All right, and this like I said, it's kind of springy. So it's gonna kind of jump back at you a little bit. There we go. And I have a little bit of cinnamon on my paper that come from the other one, and I'm not worried about that. Okay, can you see when I do it and then it kind of goes back? That's what I'm talking about when I talk about that it's a little springy. That is okay. I have got to get, I have a big cutting board that I probably could do this on, but here at the end of my table is just convenient because I can just lay down the parchment paper. Now, sometimes the parchment paper doesn't want to stay still, and that's a pain in the tail, but for the most part, this is kind of where I like to do the cinnamon rolls. I have a little bit more thickness on this side, it seems like. So just trying to work that out a little bit. We may be more in a circle this go round than a rectangle, but that's okay. Now, I am using Splenda. You can use sugar. Brown sugar is delicious. Absolutely delicious. So there's so many combinations that you can do. I don't think you're going to mess this up. I have always been intimidated by trying to do homemade cinnamon rolls. That has just always sounded so too much work, I guess you'd say. But I'm really proud of how this has turned out. I may have had a little bit more dough than on this ball than the first ball, but that's okay. We'll see what we can get. All right, I'm gonna call that pretty good. Let's see if I can get this. Our fire radio is going off, as you hear. Whoop. Roll off. So we've had a fire already this morning. Now we're having a medical call. Well, one of our departments in the county is having a medical call. All right, so I still have some of my butter left, and what I'm going to do is pray it's enough, because I really don't want to go and melt another half stick of butter. So we're just going to make this go all over our dough. Oh, that's going to be plenty. Okay. Perfect. All the way to the edge. I don't know if that's a necessity, but I like to do that. Okay. Woo, goodness. Don't flick your brush. Tip of the day, right there. You have butter on the ceiling. All right. Okay. And then our cinnamon. Now, I want to try an experiment, and I want to be able to freeze these. So, I have I have some friends in the community. I have 2 new mamas in the community. And so these may go to new homes with them. But I want to try freezing the cinnamon rolls to see how they do. I know freezing the bread is just fine, and you bring it out and warm it up and it's great. But I'm thinking if I could freeze it when I put it in the pan here before it does its final rise, freeze it at that point, and then when you bring it out of the freezer, we could unthaw and it could do its rise, and then you could bake it fresh. So there's a couple of ways I wanna try that, see how that goes. All right, let me get some flour so I can roll my dough back over. Perfect. Okay, let me grab my other pan and get it sprayed. All right, I got several different size pans, but we're gonna try this round pan and see how it goes. Let me find my dental floss. And let's see what we get out of this one. I got stuck. I feel it. All right. Oh, there it is. It was on that. I got to work on my uniformity. That's what I need to work on. I'm not a very, like I said, I'm not a very good measurer, so I just kind of eyeball it and willy-nilly it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get that running out. 6. All right, so I'm going to get 8 if I counted correctly. Look at that oozing out. Yum, 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 yum. All right, so that's more like a pan of cinnamon rolls right there. So 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 8 in there. I'm so proud of these. So I'm going to put some saran wrap, just lay it over the top of it so they can rise. And this is going in the oven too. All right, with this last one, I'm just going to do the whole dough ball in itself because I need to go and get to the chicken house. So let me see what the dogs is barking at, and I'm going to melt my other stick, half a stick of butter. Now I wanted to get my butter melted before I was finished working the dough, strictly because I don't want hot butter here on my dough. You can see I kind of worked it into an oval right now. And I'm about, I think, to where I want it. Now our ends right here are not going to be beautiful, but they will be edible. And that's what we care about. So, good dough here. Now, there were things that I wanted to do with this dough rather than a cinnamon roll. But, as you saw in my last video, we did a breakfast quiche. And what I had in mind, I don't need all this breakfast stuff. So, Now that I say that, and I said I wanted to freeze. I think what I want to do, I'm going to do the 8 cinnamon rolls in the round pan, and then the rest of the cinnamon rolls, I think I'm going to try my freezing experiment. That sounds pretty good. Okay. Got my melted butter. It's still a little warm, but we're going to go with it. It's going to be fine. I'll just have to kind of work in a hurry. All right, so this is a whole dough ball, so a half a stick of butter. And I have just kind of played with this because the last time I did a whole dough ball, I did a whole stick of butter, and it worked fine too. But I think this half a stick is plenty. We just want to make sure we coat it all the way to the edge. And this is definitely plenty for this. All right. And I'll show you in a minute, but I'm covered. I need to start wearing an apron. So many of the YouTube creators that I watch wear aprons, and I never take the time to grab an apron. So I look like the Pillsbury Doughboy about right now. So we're going to start with our sugar. A little bit more. Now, like I said, I'm using Splenda. You can use your regular sugar. You can use brown sugar. Whatever y'all prefer. I love a brown sugar cinnamon roll. All right. Kind of make sure I have it over this direction. Okay, I think that's good. Now our cinnamon. I'm just raking some little mounds that I'm seeing. Come on. Ooh. The cinnamon's wanting to, there we go. That's what it wanted. No, Jake. I got a big lab smelling cinnamon. Okay. We're going to go with that. And now we roll. I think I'm going to come this way this time. Just to, I guess, be different. I have put, I don't know if I told you, but the last ones I did, I put pecans on it. That was wonderful. There's so many things you could do with cinnamon rolls. You could, instead of cinnamon rolls, you could do a marshmallow cream and do chocolate inside with maybe some crushed graham crackers to kind of do like a s'more. I want to try some savory roll-ups as well, and that was what I had planned for this day. But time and the amount of rise that she's wanting to do kind of threw my plans off. So here we are with cinnamon rolls, but that's okay because we will have our cinnamon roll experience down and know what we want to do next time. So, all right. Now I remember why I worked in half batches, because this is a lot. This is a lot. So let me get a pan and spray it. Now this is a much fatter cinnamon roll. So sometimes they're a little bit more unwieldy, but we're going to try our best. That first one is never pretty, but it'll eat. Oh, that one fell apart. That's okay. Now I'm going to get 7 because it's a little fatter. And I'm going to get 7 cinnamon rolls in this one. So let me quickly get my pan that I'm going to get this frozen in. I tell you what, I'll just use my last round pan. And there is no reason that I can't freeze it in this. The one I was going to freeze it in, honestly, was a square pan. So, not a big deal. Soft dough. So, you kind of need to work a little quickly, because they will spread out on you. Alright. My dough says I've had enough, lady. And it wants to go to sleep. Right on my... We'll do you that way. Alright, I'm going to put that one in the middle. And this one on the side. Now these kind of spread out a little bit, but I'm going to wrap these up and flash freeze them in the freezer. All right, I'm going to quickly clean up my mess right here at the end of the table, but look, this is this is me. So I'm going to throw my pans in the not in the dishwasher, in the sink, so I can rinse them out. I'm going to fold up our parchment paper that we had down, and I'm going to wipe the table, and I'm going to run to the chicken house. But then this afternoon we will see what those cinnamon rolls has done. And I did throw that one in the freezer. I wrapped it up with some saran wrap, put it on a cookie sheet, and when it freezes solid, I will put another layer of saran wrap and then wrap it in foil, and we will have it probably later on this month. All right, y'all, it is 4:20 and I've just gotten the house. I am hot, tired, and sweaty, but I want to check on our cinnamon rolls from this morning. And I don't know if you can tell because of the light of the oven, but they have risen. They smell wonderful. I am probably going to call a friend and see if she wants a pan. I'm going to put one pan in the refrigerator because I want to see how that works. See if I can do all of the rice and then stick it in the refrigerator. And then the other pan will probably go to Hillary. So I just need to make up some cream cheese frosting so I can send that with all of this. And that'll be good to go. So that's finished. Now, it may be a few days before I bake our cinnamon rolls up because we still have some of the sausage and egg quiche that we're enjoying for breakfast. We will probably finish that up tomorrow because it's going fast. Anyway, when I bake the cinnamon rolls, I will definitely show you what they look like. And from the last batch, they were oh so good. So I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll know next time when we put out a video. So until next time, I'll see you later.